Hi guys, Kyung here, and happy Thanksgiving. It is that time of year, and I'm not going to really do too much Thanksgiving stuff in terms of journaling, but I thought what would be fun would be to paint on some fabric. Ooh, let's paint on some fabric. I'd had this idea yesterday. I'm sure it's not a new idea. I'm sure a ton of people have done it before, but I just ripped up these little pieces of muslin cloth and I ironed them out. And let's see, what do they measure? I don't know, 3 by 3 roughly. They're little 3 by 3 squares. And I have this just regular acrylic. I just got like a bunch of cheap paint that I have laying around. So I grabbed a couple colors, just basic acrylic. I got a blue in case we want to do some blue. But yeah, so anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful week. I know the holiday times can be trying. So I thought, well, let's paint. As for us, we're just going to have like a turkey. I cook every year and nothing big. Okay, so I'm going to do a branch. We're just going to put a line. A line, easy enough. And then we're going to put another line. We'll do it this one down this way. And we'll do another one up this way. Just little branches, right? Let's extend this one out farther. And then we can put little ones up here. We'll put a little tiny one here, like that. Maybe another little tiny one down here like this. Oh, and how about one coming off here? Like that. We're making a little pine branch. We're making a little pine branch. So there's that. We're done with that for now. I'm going to rinse off my brush. And, oh geez, look at all that paint I put on there. I'm going to get my green. I'm just going to shake it up. And I'm going to use it right out of the cap because that way I don't waste it. Because I will. Okay. So the bristles are very, very easy. Let me make sure my brush has paint on it, but that it's flat, right? That it's like flat. And then I'm going to make little just lines, right? So tiny little ones at the bottom. We're just going to go up the branch like this. Very easy. It's very easy. Ta-da! And now we're going to do it on the other side. And they don't need to be perfect because it's nature, and nature is never perfect. Right, I may come in and darken some of these. So I had also thought of trying maybe like watercolor, but I'm not sure how that would work because you know how watercolor is so wet. My bet is it would just soak right into the fabric. I don't know. But there we go. There we have one little pine needle branch. Let's do this one. Just going to go up with little lines. Again, it's okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, I think it looks better if it's not perfect. Just going to put them in real quick. Then I'll go over them and darken them a little bit. I thought painting on fabric would be fancy. Make fancy little tags and decorations for journals, you know, just glue it up in your top of your page or something. I think I'll make a few and kind of send them out as Happy Meal because they're really cool. I know I have to make one for my husband because he loved it. He wanted one. Okay, up we go. And now for the other side. And this side will overlap some of these, which is just fine. That's absolutely fine. Ta-da! Oh, look at that. Doesn't it look great? I think it looks great. It's very easy. So easy. Easy peasy. Okay, now if we want to add some detail, let me put this cap on. Let me deal with this brown paint. What am I going to do with that? Let's grab a piece of paper. Maybe we won't waste it, huh? We'll make like a background of sorts. This thin kind of, I don't know, it's like newsprint or something. Just kind of pick it up with the paper. Huh? And then use it later for something. Where does my spray bottle go? Here's my water. That way at least we don't completely waste it, huh? Was quite a bit of paint. Ta-da! I know that doesn't look great now, but it'll be a good background later, you know. Maybe add some different color to it, maybe some green. Some vintage photo. All right, there we go. Don't want that drying on our mat for too long. Yay, look, we have a little pine needle thing. Okay, so what we want to do, let's grab some black. I have this multi-surface, this is just, I don't know, it was on sale. It was just a black paint. And it went flying, that's okay. We don't need a lot, so again, I'm going to use it out of its lid if I can. It's not too, looks kind of almost metallic. It might be a little metallic, which is fine. So I'm going to add a little bit of like shadow to the, and so when I add shadow, I always just try to think underneath, right? So if the light is shining above this way, like the way it is now, right? The shadows would be underneath. I'm not going to go too nuts with it. Maybe darken that stem a little bit down the middle. Doo -doo. Oh, so I decided I was going to try something fancy for Thanksgiving dinner. So we usually have Jell-O, right? I usually make like a Jell-O. It's one of the only times of the year we have Jell-O. But anyway, I make Jell-O, and it's usually like I make an orange Jell-O. And I put like whole pieces of mandarin oranges in it because it's like really good. And it's kind of like a fancy fruit salad, you know. And this year, well, my husband got me this like muffin tin mold, and they're like in the shapes of these pretty flowers. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to make pretty Jell-O flowers and put the like fruit on the top, you know. We'll see how it goes. So there we go. We have that. That is done. A cute little branch. Now we could do the same thing and we could do berries, right? And we need some brown again, which, you know, I took all that brown off my table, not thinking that I would actually use it again. So I'm not going to put any on my table. I'm just going to grab it out of my tube. Okay, so let's make another branch. This time we'll make more branches. So here's this branch. Oh. Right, and we'll put another little one in. So when I think about branches, I think about making V's, right? So you put a line, and then, you know, it needs a V. So you put a V, or a Y. I suppose you could see it as a Y. Then sometimes if you want, you could put like another little V off the V you just had, like that. They're just V's, bunch of V's. Ta-da! Okay, and we're back. My husband came home with my puppy. Well, he's not really a puppy. He's an old dog now. But anyway, they went to the vet and he came back. He's got a cast on. He's so cute. Anyway. So, and then I got distracted. I had to have a piece of pie. Anyway, I have just this like regular red, right? Again, cheap acrylic paint. I think it was like $1 or something. And so, well, let's make berries. And berries are easy, right? Berries are just... Oh, look at this paint. This is not good. This is, ew. It's all dried out. I'm gonna get paint. Now I got paint everywhere. All over my hands. Okay, so I forgot to say, so the brush that I'm using is a really cheap brush. I don't know, it's just like a bad, cheap brush that I have. It's just a flat one. And so that was that. And now I'm going to use this other cheap brush, and it's a round brush, right? It's just a little round brush. And again, it's like a cheap one. I think it might be a brush you would find in like a watercolor, like the kids' watercolor sets maybe. No, maybe not that bad. Okay, so I'm going to grab some red. Let's grab some red. Make sure I have red on my thing, on my brush, and then I'm just going to make little circles. We'll put a circle here. Right, and we'll put a circle here. Little berries. We'll put one on the end of each stick. Right, twig, stick, branch. One there. We'll put another one here, a littler one. We'll put another little one here. We'll put a bigger one here. And another little one here. Oh, look at that, berries. Okay, now let's add a couple others. Let's put some kind of like on the branch. So we'll put one here, right? We'll put another one here. We'll put one here. Just some cute berries. Okay, there we go. We're done. Berries. So, oh, you know what we need to do, though? We need to add, like, a little bit of shine on them, right? Because berries are shiny. So I have my white. This is my giant white acrylic paint. Okay, I'm going to rinse off all the red off my brush. Grab some white. Oh, that's way too much white. Right, we don't want that much. We want just a little tiny bit. Because I'm just going to put little dots on these berries like this. Just little shines, little tiny dots. It might even be a little too white. I should have maybe mixed some red in it. It'll be fine. Aw, look, little berries. I think they look good. Right, and if we think it's too white, we can tone it down. We could put a little bit of white down. We could grab a little bit of red. Right, and mix to make like a pink. And then we can come in and kind of go over it a little bit with the pink. That'll help tone it down. It won't be so bright. Little shines on these berries. Yay! So cute. Okay. Let's wipe off this. And we should add a little bit of shadow onto this branch because it will really help, I think. So I'll use that same little detail brush, this little round brush. Grab a little bit of black and again, go underneath. Underneath. Oh my goodness, that's way too much paint. It's way too much. I might grab my flat brush instead. Yep, I'm going to grab my flat brush. Right, make sure it's flat. This is a brush I also left in the water pot, so it kind of curled a little bit to one side. I'm not putting a ton of paint on this. Right, just a little tiny bit, just to darken my branches. Well, that's unfortunate. But what can you do? What can you do? You just attach it and you move on. That's what you do. It will look fine. Ta-da! Okay, done. I'm gonna leave it. I might fill in this black right here a little bit, darken it. So just not it's not like just a dot. Okay. And it's fine. It's a little darker than I wanted it to be. But I like it. It's got a little bit of different dimension in it. This will probably get cut off. This. Whatever. They look great. I think they're fine. So we have those. We should do another one. Let's do blue. Because who doesn't love blueberries? You gotta have some blueberries. I have a blue here. We have our brown. Let's grab my flat brush. All right. We'll go the same direction, right? Easy. Make a branch here. Make another branch and start putting in little V's. Right, and then another V, and then another V. Maybe another V here and another one there. Ta-da, there's our branch. Easy, just a bunch of Y's connected together. Why? I don't know. Ask the trees. Here's some blue, just some blue acrylic. Oh, it's like the perfect color blue. What color is this? Yeah, however you pronounce that. That blue. All right, let's... Oh, that's gorgeous. A gorgeous blue. My brush might be too wet. Let's just drop our brush everywhere. Let's just make a mess. Okay, circles. It's good if your brush is a little wet because it needs to like actually get on the fabric, you know. If your brush is too dry, but if it's too wet, then it will like seep into the fabric and that's not, it'll like bleed, you know. Big berries. Put another one here. So yes, my husband bought 2 pies for Thanksgiving tomorrow. He got a pumpkin one from the bakery because I was going to make a pumpkin pie, but that's not going to happen. With everything else I've got to cook, it's not going to happen. And then he got like a frozen key lime pie, right, from like the frozen section. And I just couldn't wait on the key lime. I said, okay, we're eating that now. So I went and had a slice of that. So good. Big berries. Again, do they need to be perfect? Absolutely not. It's nature. And nature is beautiful in all its imperfect ways. Okay, berries. Blue berries. Should we leave them like that? Should we add a couple like off their branches, like one here maybe? Like maybe one here. Just a couple of extra berries here and there. I love it. Okay, now we need to, oops, wipe this off. Well, actually, we'll keep the blue there for a minute while I grab some white, huh? So we can add our shine. Okay, so that we can add our shine, we'll just add some white. We need way more white than that. Good. That's a good contrast, I think. Shouldn't be too... We're going to add little shines on them, and then we also need to add the little end thing, because blueberries, they have like little pieces, Oops. Well, I messed up that dot. That's just like a big dot. Let's see if I can fix it at all. Help it, maybe. Or might after it's dry. Oh, look, we missed a little piece. One little one here. Okay, good deal. Now we need to add some black. I keep dropping my stuff everywhere. It's terrible. Okay, I'm going to mix this blue in with this black. Right, so that we don't have just a straight black. We have a little bit of, it's a blue black. And I'm going to put just little spiky things on the bottom, right? Because they're blueberries, and blueberries have these little spiky things on the bottoms. They're not really spiky. They're like little, you know, they're little pieces that come off the blueberry, the bottom of the blueberry. Ta-da! I think that makes them look way more like blueberries. And I wonder if this is dry enough. Can we come in and fix this? Oh, look at that. Like it never happened. All right, now we need to put in our shadow for our stem. Okay, and we did this last time. I'm going to use the flat brush. I'm just going to use the same color because we already have it. Doop doo. I really kind of like that color. That like blue mixed with that black, it is a really nice color. Okay, it's almost has a green to it. Okay, ta-da! We have our little painted fabric pieces. They're so exciting and I love them. They're so easy. I've been all in the mood to paint. So we got that out of our system. Now what to do with them? Well, let's see. Let's make a tag. Let's use the blueberries. Shall we use the blueberries? I love the blueberries. All right. Let's trim it from here. Let's just kind of trim it down. Ta-da! And I'm going to leave some of its little, that's fine. That can, if it wants to hang out. No, I've decided never mind. It's driving me nuts. Okay, it's getting chopped off. You're getting chopped off, little pieces of thread. Okay, sometimes I leave them, sometimes I don't want them. There. Okay, yay, a little blueberry. So let's see, what are we going to do with said blueberry tag? let's cut a 3.5 inch wide. This is what we'll do. So 3.5. Right? And then what is this? What does this measure? I don't know, almost 5.5, a little short of 5.5 long. Just for a basic tag. Cut off our little corners. And we'll make a little background, huh? Let's do it. Let's use the same colors that we used on our fabric. So I'll use a little bit of this blue. Just going to put a little tiny bit. Like the littlest tiny bit. And, you know, smudge it all over me. All right, and let's do that first because I don't want to muddy everything together. Add some waters. And mix it up. Yeah, and I want that. So this is like a linen. It's like a linen paper, if you can see like the pretty texture on it. So I'm hoping that that picks up here on with our paint, right? This is a Miss P technique. Miss Paint a lot. Look at that. That's gorgeous. I'm going to try and leave it just like that. Kind of let it dry. All right. So one of the wonderful things I love about using acrylic, okay, like watered down acrylic, is that it's permanent, right? Once it dries, it dries. If we get it wet, it won't reactivate, right? Like the way Distress Ink. So now we can add another layer of like Distress Ink, for example. And our blue should stay. So, what do we have? I have this little vintage photo. Let's use this up. I have a little tiny vintage photo pad. Just gonna squeeze some on there onto my mat. Spray some water. Okay, let's try and get some of these white pieces. Ta-da! Okay, that should give us our brown. Lovely. Now it just needs to dry. All right, so here's our tag. It's very lovely that we're going to put our blueberry on. So we're going to put our blueberry on there. So we have to think about what kind of like laces and things do we want to decorate it with. Let's look at this bag of goodies. I have all this like burlap kind of trim that I think would be lovely. Perhaps along one edge like this. You know what? I kind of really love that. It's a little wide, isn't it? It's a little too wide. Let's see if we have a thinner one. See, this is about the same width as is this one, and this one's even wider. That one's, yeah. Let's see. Oh, here's one that's looks a little narrower. What if we put this like this? Will this fit like that? It will, and it looks fine. We could put it along the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to go with putting it up along the side for now. All right, this can be cut even smaller. Right, it could hang like this. Let's grab my Fabri-Tac and go ahead and glue this piece down because we're just going to make the decision. I'm looking. I think I could trim some of it. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go for it. We're going to do it. Just trying to stay on this side of that seam. Ta-da! So we have that little piece now, and we have this piece. I think that'll be much better. Of course, it'll all get stitched when it's all said and done, and that will help reinforce everything. But I think Fabri-Tac will do just fine. I'll have to back it for sure. And like a coffee dyed paper, probably. Okay, so here we have our trim laid out, and we've got this piece. What are we going to do with it? I'm not sure. I kind of like it like that, right there in the center. We could put something down in here. What to put though? And I feel like it definitely needs like some darkening around the edge. Okay, I know what we're going to do. I'm going to grab these stamps. I have these like pattern stamps. Ooh, I have these ones, which I love. Look at this one. I use this one all the time, and we're going to use it today. Yep. I could, or I could go swirlies, right? I could go swirlies, because then we would have something down here in our corner like this, which I kind of really like. I kind of really like that. We could emboss it. Ooh, let's emboss it. All right. Grab my folder. We'll emboss it in this rusty hinge because, you know, gotta love rusty hinge. It's not even opened yet. Look at what Chestita sent me. Oh my gosh, it's a little gnome spoon that I'm going to use for my embossing things. And he hangs out with Timothy Stitch, which sits on top of my walnut ink. And he helps me quite a bit, actually. He's quite the helper. All right, we need our ink pad. I need my little stamping block thing. Oh, well, that one's too small. We'll just use this one. Okay. Let's get some embossing ink on there. All right, hopefully that's good. Oh yay, look, I can use my little gnome thing. This is embossing glaze. I don't know what the difference is. It's glazier. I don't know. Embossing glaze. I don't know. Oh, I suppose I shouldn't have closed that. I have to. It looks like rusted dust, doesn't it? It really does. Looks like rusted dust. We've got little pieces of glue and stuff in our... Oh, well. Okay. A couple of sparklies, and isn't that how it goes? Okay. Let's emboss it. Just like some of this powder. I'm going to grab my watercolor brush. fell into like some of the lines of this. That could be the ink from the when we did the right vintage photo. Aha, just as I thought. It's glazier. It's more like a glaze, right? Instead of like sparkly. So I love it. It's gorgeous. It's perfect. Let's deal with the edges. Well, we'll just have Timothy Stitch come help us. Use our walnut stain. Kind of come in, darken our edges. I think that will really help us. Ta-da! And then, where did my little fabric piece go? My blueberries. Okay, here they are. I'm going to ink and distress kind of around the edge of my fabric. And again, it shouldn't mess with the paint because it's acrylic paint. It should be dry and permanent now. Okay, I'm just grunged up around the edge of my fabric like that. And I'm going to glue it. I could add it with a brad, but I think I'll glue it. So I'm not going to like go nuts. I just want it to be kind of glued down so that it's stuck there forever, but it's not, all the edges don't need to be stuck down. Ta-da! Yay, so right, so its little edges can like fray out and stick out. It's cute. I love it. Okay, so now we just need to, is it on there crooked? Probably. It's, you know, that's how it goes. I'm going to back it before I stitch it, and then I'll put a top in it, right? So I have this piece of cardstock. I will just glue it to that, and then we will stitch it. Oh, look, it's like the perfect size. All right, let me just trim it. All right, we'll ink the back of it real quick. Okay, nice. Good, good. Now we'll stitch it. Hello, Mr. Sewing Machine. I hope we're having a good day. We're going to do straight stitch today. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Sewing Machine. We have our stitched tag. It's lovely. We just need to put a hole in it and some ribbon. I'm going to put a little hole, a little tiny one, and then we'll just poke some ribbon in it. And I think I am going to put just a little dot right on this corner because I don't want it sticking up that much. Just a little tiny bit. Then it can just lay flat. Let's see, what do we have for ribbon? Probably all the colors except for the one we need. We have this blue gingham. I don't know how that would look. What do we think? Yes, no, eh. This blue is a little too bright, I think. Maybe not. Should we just go for it? I think it might actually work. It's so bright. It's that gem tone, you know? Let's poke it through and see how it is. I really like it. I like the blue. It's really pretty. So there we go. We painted some fabric and made a pretty tag. Had fun. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, safe, and happy Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you all later.